What's up, fish heads? Welcome back to another Waterbox Live.
Waterbox Wednesday, the best day of the week.
Yes, as always, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. We are here every week. Post your comments below as well.
Yep, we are giving away 2 $50 Waterbox gift cards today, so you want to definitely make sure you are engaging in that chat. Currency is always liking the stream, commenting, asking questions, all that jive, make some friends, and that's going to increase your odds of being picked for the winner.
Yep, absolutely.
Definitely also put your questions in the chat because we are going to leave time for Q&A throughout the stream and at the end. So any questions you have about us for aquarium keeping, Waterbox, anything, go ahead and drop them in there and they'll start pulling them out.
Yeah, it can be about what we're talking about today. It can be about our aquariums, our supplies, whatever it is.
Yep.
Just post it below. Again, I say this every week. Sounds maybe for some of you it's repetitive, but this is why we go live. It's so that we can engage with you guys here and you can ask questions about aquariums, aquarium keeping, etc.
Yes, exactly.
So.
And today we're talking about coral feeding.
Yep.
Always a fun topic. We love doing this.
Always very popular topic.
Yeah, people love to see it and kind of learn about the different methods of coral feeding and nutrition. So we're going to go about that today. But before we get into that, if you missed it last week, we had a product announcement of aquascaping and fragging toolkits.
Yep.
Amazing. Back-to-back weeks of announcements, almost unheard of.
Yep.
So we do have a new product announcement for today.
Yes, we do. So again, new product announcement. You guys ready? Yeah. So we are, this has been long awaited, but we're long awaited for a lot of people have been waiting on this. So we have our control boxes available now for the Marine X and the Infinia and the Peninsula coming soon. So definitely check those out. I know a lot of you guys that already own aquariums have been waiting on this.
Yes.
So they are available now in the US, coming to other markets very soon.
Yep, so these are very easy. And a lot of people do ask or are going to ask, can it be installed once my cabinet has been up and running? Because I've had my Infinia Reef for, however how long. Yes, so this does mount to the framing, can be done with your aquarium running. So that, same with the Marine X, and like you said, the Peninsula version will be coming very soon. So keep an eye out for that if you have Peninsula. But these are nice because they're internal facing open, space to put your controllers, cords, all that to keep that nice, clean cabinet look.
Yep.
So it definitely does help a lot. So like you said, a lot of people have been waiting for this. A little bit longer than we expected, but it is here finally.
Yeah, so if you guys have a Marine X or Infinia, you can go pick those up right now, get those installed. You got a question?
Nope, we promo this too as well while it's still going on.
Nope.
There you go. So if you guys didn't tune in last week, we are running a promotion till the end of March. If you buy a Marine X, an Infinia Reefer Frag, Peninsula, or Refill X, we're giving you a free box of salt and refractometer. So take advantage of this. You guys might be in the market to try out our salt. Now's the time.
It's a great deal, especially, getting your aquarium set up with not having to pay for salt, which is always kind of one of those investments. And it's one of those things where I guarantee you try Waterbox salt, you're going to be hooked. It is so easy to mix, so clean. There's no special weird requirements on temperature or long mixing times. And, for majority of keepers, I feel that our levels in the salt is spot on within the range that you want to keep it at anyway, which is really, really important, doing water changes and not really skewing your levels that you've been testing and dosing for. So definitely check it out and take advantage this month.
Absolutely. Great promo.
We got somebody on Facebook asking, did you guys already do the Waterbox Aquariums giveaway? Let them know how they can win $50 gift card.
Huh?
Let them know.
Oh, yeah. So no, we have not done the giveaway yet. You're talking about for tonight, right? We have not done the giveaway. The currency to win that is you're on Facebook, but to like the stream.
You can share it.
Yeah, you can share it on Facebook. You can subscribe to our channel on YouTube, hit the notification bell, but most importantly, engage with us. Ask us questions. Tell us where you're from, any of that good stuff, and that'll get you entered to win. Because if you don't do that, We don't know that you're there.
Right. And your name will not get picked. So be active in the comments. And we also want to see as many likes on this stream as there are people viewing, and that is not where it's at right now. So
I forgot to mention that liking the stream, especially on YouTube, is mandatory. So if I don't see that like thing going up, we got a problem.
All right. Go check out the controller boxes. If you missed it last week, check out the aquascaping and fragging kits. But let's talk about some coral feeding.
Yeah.
So we put together a video for you with some great information and showing you some methods for feeding your coral. Feeding your coral properly increases growth and coloration. Different types of coral have very different feeding requirements, so we're going to give you a breakdown on the best methods to feed your coral. Broadcast feeding is the easiest and most common method. It really is just adding the food to the water column, letting it circulate, and the coral will filter feed it out of the water. Pretty much every single type of coral will benefit from this method. Phytoplankton is an algae-based coral food. Broadcast feeding this into the aquarium not only feeds your corals, but also a lot of microorganisms like zooplankton and copepods. Now, soft corals and filter-feeding invertebrates particularly benefit from feeding phytoplankton to your aquarium. Zooplankton is the meat or protein side of broadcast feeding. There's going to be either liquid form or powdered. Now, if you're using the powdered form, you're just going to take a little bit of your aquarium water and mix it with it before feeding into the aquarium. Now, zooplankton is especially beneficial for LPS and SPS coral. Spot feeding is when you directly put food onto a coral. This is particularly beneficial for LPS, but some soft corals and SPS also benefit. When you go to spot feed, make sure you turn off your return pump and any power heads, as you don't want any flow inside the aquarium while you're trying to direct or spot feed your coral. There's a lot of different food choices when it comes to spot feeding. One of them is a liquid diet like that zooplankton or phytoplankton. These liquid foods are great for SPS corals and soft corals, but certain LPS like Goniopora really benefit from that heavy spot feeding. They don't have large mouths, so they need that small filter feeding liquid. When you go to spot feed using the liquid diet, you're going to take some of it up into like a syringe or a turkey baster, and you want to gently release it so it falls onto the coral. Mysis shrimp is a great meaty choice for corals like your LPS, as they need some bigger, chunkier stuff to eat. Spot feeding these larger food items to your LPS will definitely increase your growth rate. Using a turkey baster or syringe, take some of that mysis in there, and you're going to want to put it onto the coral near the mouth. They have feeder tentacles that will then take that food directly into their mouth so they can eat it. When you have large LPS colonies or heavy feeders like meat corals, using a bigger, meatier food is a better choice. Krill is great for this. You're going to use the same method as what you did with feeding the mysis, but you're going to use tongs just because it's a bigger item. You're going to place it onto the coral with the feeder tentacles near its mouth so that it can take it in. Watching a big LPS colony eat these big chunks of food is always really cool to see. Using pellets to feed can be a really easy and good option for corals such as LPS and some soft corals like mushrooms. They tend to be really easy to feed just because the pellet will drop onto the coral and right towards their mouth. Use a turkey baster the same way you did with your other foods. Feeding your coral is important to their health, but always be sure not to overdo it. Feeding too much can cause issues with water quality, which we want to avoid. Always monitor water levels like nitrate and phosphate to make sure you're not overfeeding. And we're back! I don't know what to do here. It's so creepy.
What's up, horse heads?
Horse heads?
Like the video.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Well, hopefully.
We had to give you guys that. Sorry. I can't hear anything in that thing. It's like
That's a one-time deal right there. Maybe. You never know.
It'll be a long time till it comes back.
We have a very horse-themed show. We have your golden horse head here. You're wearing costumes and masks. If anyone doesn't understand, there is an inside joke that if you've watched enough Waterbox, you will understand about horse heads and the golden horse head. And for anyone who's wondering why this thing is just sitting here, if you're just tuning in, there's a whole lot to it. I don't know if you want to explain it or not, because I think there might be people
They're just going to have to go back and watch the prior episodes. But actually, what's funny is before I put that on, I saw some people asking for the horse head. And I'm like, they're going to get it.
Nice.
So anyways,
more than one level.
That was a fantastic video.
Yeah, that was good. So, it gives you a good rundown of different choices you have for feeding and how to do it. So a lot of people, especially if you're newer into the hobby, you haven't really done too much. You might not know how beneficial feeding is or what your coral, what their preferred method is and how to do it. So that'll be dropped on YouTube soon too if you want to rewatch or check it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we got time for questions if you've pulled any.
Yeah, so again, you guys, post your questions below, engage with people in the comments, but we're going to do a Q&A here in a second. And we're also going to do a giveaway later, so make sure you post your question.
Yep, being active is going to get you a chance for those gift cards.
Yes. Yes. Are there any fish I should avoid if I have corals?
There's a lot of fish you should avoid. There's just, you have to look for what's considered reef safe. There's a lot of butterfly species. Most of your bigger predators are not safe. You know, also, you know, you have to also be careful because the terminology of reef safe can also be grouped under if that fish is likely to eat inverts, shrimp, crabs, snails. They're going to be deemed under a not reef safe grouping, but yet they don't eat coral. So I think there should definitely be a more of a definitive difference between those, because we've kept predators in reefs. I've done it plenty of times, and you just have to be more cautious with what inverts you keep. You're not going to keep a cleaner shrimp. You know, you just have to make sure your snails are bigger ones, or you know, forego certain cleanup crew. But yet they're not going to touch your coral and are a really awesome addition to your aquarium. But then there's the ones that specifically will eat coral. A lot of butterfly species, angels, that kind of stuff.
Best feeding regimen?
I mean, depends on the type of corals you have. So, you know, between softies, LPS, and SPS, there's going to be different choices as far as your food options. How frequently will depend a lot on size of aquarium, how many corals you have, how well can you handle the bio load. I think if you just want to keep it basic, go in there once a week and feed. If you can handle the bio load, you're on top of the water quality, you know, you've got all the equipment in place to make sure that things are staying stable and not getting too dirty, you could feed multiple times a week. But remember, food in, waste out. Doesn't mean if it's a coral, it's a fish. Food equals waste.
Was it there in the Waterbox reef salt what is there in the Waterbox reef salt that makes more value to it? I know some salts add trace elements and some form of aminos to it. Just curious.
I mean, so our salt is going to have all your trace elements, your, you know, major, minor, all of those that are really important. Plus, our levels are very even. Most people are going to keep their calcium and magnesium within our range. And you can see that on the site what the range is based upon salinity level. And I think one of the best things is not only just the quality of it and that you're getting all of the trace and major elements that you need, is it mixes clean in about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to plan 2 days in advance that you're doing this water change and let me drop my temperature to such and such, or really target. It's a pretty obtainable temperature that's best to mix at. 15 minutes, you're good to use. You know, store it for about 5 days, up to about 5 days for best results. So it's just very easy to work with. The price point's really good, and it just has everything you need in it. And you can see a lot of reviews that are on it. People that have used it, you know, their colors and polyp extension, everything have been phenomenal on it.
Yeah, so again, check out the website, waterboxaquariums.com, and you can get a bunch of reviews, real reviews on that salt, and people are really liking it. So.
Yep.
Just got my 65.4, built the stand, but have not put the tank on the stand yet. I assume the mat directly on the stand, just the aluminum cross members, and then the tank.
Yeah, so there's no top to the cabinet. And I like your idea that you gave a few weeks ago was use like double-sided tape to adhere the mat onto the frame so that when you put the aquarium on, it doesn't slide.
It doesn't slide, yep.
Yeah, so that's gonna make it much easier, but do you want that between the tank and the cabinet?
Yep. Thank you, Ziggy. How do you know if you're not feeding coral enough?
Okay, so say your water quality is where it needs to be, your levels are consistent, you don't have someone picking at them, you know, and everything, your lighting is where it should be, you've tried different locations. If your coral's just not thriving, it hasn't really grown, color's not as good, it's not as open, it could be a lack of food. Now, majority of corals, soft corals, and SPS and stuff, they're gonna filter feed. You broadcast feed on occasion, natural, you know, waste product in the water and stuff, plus light. They're generally pretty good without heavy feeding. However, LPS, they like to eat. The fleshier they are, the more likely they're going to need that extra food, especially Gonioporas, hammers, frogs. You're going to increase your color and just fluffiness and growth so much when you're actually spot feeding them and giving them that extra boost of energy and nutrition.
Thank you, Daryl. What's the best food and method for feeding rock flower anemones?
Any anemones, big chunks of food. They love to eat. They can digest massive size things. I mean, maybe not black flower anemones, but they can eat something that's about the size of their own disc. You usually want to offer smaller. But anemones can eat a lot and are very large. This is why anemones can be considered somewhat dangerous, because they can catch fish if they're weaker. They can eat bigger stuff. I had a green carpet anemone once, back in a 210, long ago. It was, I don't know, 15, 18 inches across. It ate a baby shark, okay? That's all I have to say. Wow. It ate it, and it digested it somewhat and put the rest out. But this thing ate a shark as big as it was.
Wow, that's
and
crazy.
It consumed it. So you're going to just get them to grow a lot bigger, a lot faster if you're feeding them heavy.
We did a rock flower anemone build a while, didn't we? Like, where there was like mostly those.
It was back when we had the 45.2 frag.
Yeah, and I don't think they're as popular as they were back. Well, it seemed like maybe there was a fad. Maybe it's died off a little bit.
Maybe. They're really cool though.
Yeah.
I just don't know if they're like widely like cultivated or collected to where you're going to see them in a lot of your stores. Most stores don't see them too much in.
Yeah, true. My question is, I placed Xenia in a brand new tank. After cycling, Xenia melted away. I was told if I dose Fido, I could add another Xenia at the same time as dosing, and this one would survive.
No, I mean, if other conditions aren't right, adding Fido is not going to correct what made that Xenia unhappy. Now, could it have been one that was already stressed? It could have been another factor. Yes. Xenia is not as hardy as it's made out to be. So Xenia, if given it's happy in the proper stuff, will go wild. It will be taking over your aquarium. If the parameters are not right, and alkalinity tends to be a big one, and salinity and stuff, it will not do well. So it's like, if you don't make it happy, it's going to melt away. If it's happy, it can take over. But if there was another issue, feeding Fido is not going to fix that. You want your tank to be stable. pH, alkalinity is pretty important for that one. Calcium is not. They're not a stony type of coral, but you do need consistency. And if your water is too clean, they don't do well either.
All right, looking forward to Blue Friday. How about we do it every Blue Friday?
Every Friday is Blue Friday. That would be tough. That would be really tough. Hopefully everyone knows what Blue Friday is. If you don't, you've missed out on some really, really fun events. But it's all day, 7, 8 streams. It's nonstop. It takes a lot of time and effort and energy to pull that day off.
It just wouldn't work. Blue Friday, we plan Blue Friday for 6 months before it happens.
Yeah.
And a lot of the pre-production's going into during those 6 months. So couldn't do it every Friday. We could, no. No.
He wants to say I love you Friday.
Please.
Yeah. Don't add
Don't
anymore.
give Rich any ideas. Don't give me ideas. Why does my wrasse swim to the top and splash water?
He's having fun. He's thinking about jumping,
Playing.
probably.
Yeah.
He's testing how far he can jump.
He's like, maybe I should do it. Maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of wrasse, but some of them are pretty sporadic and they're very flighty. So definitely make sure you have a lid to the top of splash water. Could be being chased or could just kind of being spazzy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've seen wrasses, especially depends on what type they are, they're just like wah, 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 all over the place.
Thank you for the question. I have seen some mixed opinions on feeding anemones. Some people say feed them shrimp or krill. Others say don't special feed them. What would you recommend?
For anemones, you definitely want to spot feed them. They are very large creatures. They are purely flesh. They have like tentacles that are sticky that are designed to bring food in the wild. And a lot of times you'll see it happen in your home aquarium, depending on the clownfish, is you actually will have the clownfish that host that anemone feed the anemone. They will come and take fish food or big chunks of food and actually feed it to their anemone. whenever they're cohabitating together. So I think, will they survive without feeding? Yes. Are they going to be happier, healthier, and live longer with the spot feeding? Most definitely.
Lots of Blue Friday talk.
Oh, God.
Yeah, people are asking what is Blue Friday. So I didn't throw that up there because I feel like, sure, go through it.
You want me to take this one first?
Yeah.
Best brand of lights for corals.
It depends on the size of the tank, but we use and love Aqua Illumination and Radion lights and Ecotech are all good choices, and you just kind of got to go bigger depending on the size of your aquarium. And you can also find those on our website.
For those of you wondering what Blue Friday is, it is an event that we put on the first Friday of November every year. It's also the biggest day to save on Waterbox Aquariums typically. And
They're just prying for information, aren't they? They're trying to get you to say
yeah,
something.
they are. So it's a mixture of things. We do a ton of education. So on the Friday, we're live for about 8 hours, right? We're like, yeah, we are. A lot of educational streams. So it's about, is it 8 streams? 8 streams.
7 'cause
So
we take a break.
seven live streams, tons of educational stuff, product launches typically, discounts. It's a big day. It's one of our biggest days. We have thousands and thousands of people tune in.
Big giveaways.
Yeah, huge giveaways during that day. So if you watch Waterbox Live, stay tuned in.
And now we have Fresh Friday.
Yes, and you guys, those of you that know about Blue Friday, we have Fresh Friday now, which is going to happen this summer.
Yeah.
We did the
We had our
first
first
Fresh Friday last summer. We're going to do another one this summer with a date we'll announce at some point this summer. So keep an eye out for that. That's specifically for freshwater aquariums.
Yeah. And Blue Friday is more centered with saltwater
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah.
they kind of have their own special event days.
Yep, exactly. So, and it's all based around education, and then you guys can also save if you're looking to get into an aquarium or any other supplies.
And you know, guys, you're watching on YouTube. And on YouTube, you can find us and our previous shows.
Yeah.
You can learn all about it and watch the past ones. Because we have some really cool guests and visit places and all that stuff. Like some really, really good streams and education, like behind the scenes stuff. So, you know, even though the event has passed, the content that comes from that day is remarkable.
Yes, and if you're on Facebook, abandon Facebook and hop over to YouTube.
This will be year 7.
Yeah.
Wow,
Oh
the
my
7th
gosh.
Blue Friday?
Yeah.
Dang.
That's wild. How many corals before I start dosing?
As soon as you are planning to get corals, you should be testing. And then what you're testing tells you if you need to be dosing.
There you go.
So that's that. If you're doing regular water changes and only have a few corals, usually you're not going to have to dose for a while.
What's a good time to add a cleanup crew in a new tank?
We've done quite a few videos on this. Depends on really how you set up your aquarium. But if you do it in the Waterbox method that we do, is we set up the aquarium, we use Carib Sea Life Rock, which has dormant seeded bacteria on it. We use Carib Sea Live Sand, and we also dose bacterial supplements. When possible, we also move over live rock or like a bio brick from an existing aquarium into the new one. Now, once you go through your cycling process, and we do have videos on cycling, you know, you want to be ghost feeding, making sure that your levels are staying stable, you're not having ammonia. At that point, your first step is then going to be add some cleanup crew. You don't add a lot at once though, because you don't have anything in there. So add slowly. You continue testing. You add the inverts as they're needed. At first, if you go and add 40 snails and 40 hermit crabs because the online site told you 1 per gallon, you're going to have 35 dead snails and 35 dead hermit crabs, which will then spike everything and waste your money. So you're going to add your inverts slowly as you actually need them.
Thank you, Alexis.
Got a couple more questions here, and then we'll go to the winner.
What tank is in the 36-inch width that's not all in one?
Length?
Yeah, that's what it's talking.
Okay, if you don't want the all-in-one, the Marinex 90.3 is your hands down best bet. Everything else that's larger is going to go from 4 foot and up for infinios and reefs and stuff.
Yep. So again, if you guys haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you smash that like button. You could punch it, you can drop kick it, you can hammer fist it. Whatever you want to do. And then let us know what you did to the like button in the comments. That'd be great.
Rich loves to hear people punching their phone or other things for the like button.
Every time I try to, wait, did I already read this one? No. Every time I try to feed aminos, my power food always gets that cyno. Should I up my filtration?
Okay, so
these are not pre-screened questions, so I have to like filter things out.
All right, so if you're getting cyano when you feed, number one, you're feeding too much. Number two, your nutrients are probably already too high beforehand. And three, those amino acids are going to be your number one culprit for that kind of stuff. So really, and it goes back to with your feeding, if your nitrate and phosphate levels are not in check, don't spot feed. Don't do anything until you get those levels in check, because when you put the food in there, it just creates more waste and more nitrate, and I don't know what he's laughing at.
I'm sorry.
I always hear you laugh at something over there, and I'm like, now I gotta look down. I gotta find. No, it's okay. It's totally okay. I think it's hilarious, but I'm like, what did he see? I want to see it.
Is it Island Reef?
Which one was this? Yeah, I'll throw it up.
Broke 3 foods.
And it's
Great
all
job,
your
Dixon.
fault.
You're following protocol. That's what we want.
Well, just Sawyer said he licked it. I think they're getting a little weird over here.
There's another one that I was laughing about.
Yeah, I was
it's
just.
him.
Oh yeah, epic corals. Yeah.
What's up? Messing with you.
I was just talking to Jess about my racing stripes. I got to figure it out.
We're coming for you, epic corals. All right.
That it? We ready for winners?
God, they keep coming, but
All right.
Guys,
He's like, I'm done.
we greatly appreciate all the questions. The engagement is tremendous. Thank you so much for that. But we're going to give away some gift cards.
Yeah, so you should always tune in, because next week, put your questions in there again. Keep going through them. So, and maybe Rich will have a horse head costume on again.
In this wonderful horse head.
Go, I challenge all of you, if you don't know, to just go and binge watch Waterbox until you figure out the story behind the horse head, because we're not going to tell you guys. So, all right, winners of gift cards. Ready?
Darius and Mikado Latham. Congratulations, you guys. Woo! Email winners@waterboxaquariums.com and they'll get you hooked up.
Yep.
With your gift cards.
Whenever you email in, please include the country that you're emailing from so we can issue it on the right website, and also allow us until like tomorrow afternoon to get those to you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations, and we appreciate everyone that tunes in.
Yep. Again, make sure you guys smash that like button and do whatever to it that you want to do.
So open-ended.
So yeah, make sure you and hit the notification bell, because again, we're here live every week. We come here live so that we can get engaged with you guys. You guys have questions about your aquariums. Maybe you don't tune in every week, but you're like, hey, I got this question that I want to answer. You can throw it in. And we do our best to get to as many as we can. There tends to be a lot more lately than we can get to.
I know. We need to probably just do a Q&A session soon. Because we end up like not being able to get through a lot. It's time to kind of do one of those where the whole episode is built on that. But I need to put a little asterisk in here to your statement. We're here every week, but we're not here next week because it's spring break, and we will not be here. But we are. He's gonna be on Daytona Beach partying or something.
Doing beer bongs.
Apple juice bongs.
Yeah.
So, but we will be here on the 27th again.
Sorry, guys, I can't take anything seriously.
I'm going to be boring in here working, so that's cool. But we won't see you next week, but join us on the 27th.
See you guys.
See ya.
Thank you all for watching. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. And to learn more about Waterbox, visit waterboxaquariums.com.
We're live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.